Hi, welcome back to Mineral City TV. I'm your host, Raymond Hall. We're in the La Fuente building once again, and we're going to have a talk with a man who really needs no introduction, Jeff Scoville. He's one of the premier mineral photographers around the world, and he's known for his amazing shots that he does of mineral specimens that you just don't get to see every day. So we're going to stop in and have a little quick chat with Jeff and how long he's going to be here and what his plans are for the near future. So let's come on in here to his studio that he set up in La Fuente to do some work. Jeff, thanks for being with us. Always a pleasure. So tell us a little bit about yourself, when you started doing this, and what you're doing here.
I'm not sure we have enough time for that.
All right, well, let's see how we can do.
Well, a brief story.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I guess I started taking pictures when my father gave me a camera for high school graduation.
High school graduation.
Until then, it never occurred to me pictures were anything special. But anyway, I just went bonkers, taking pictures of all sorts of things. I had an archaeology, and I worked as a photographer in a lab at an archaeological dig in New Mexico for 7 field seasons.
Okay.
Anyway, and eventually, teaching myself scientific photography, and decided after 3 years of doing that, let's try this on minerals.
Were you a mineral collector before you started doing photography?
No, I started collecting when I was 8.
Okay, great.
My dad actually was a geologist.
Oh.
He didn't stick with it very long, but the die was cast and I was corrupted.
Great.
Anyway, I was collecting minerals for quite a while, and I played around with it as a hobby for about 15 years. I came to a crossroads, a time where the business I had at the time wasn't doing well, divorce and all kinds of things. It was a serious turning point in my life, and I was trying to figure out what to do for a living, and decided that I've been playing with minerals, with mineral photography for years, and getting published for quite a few years at that point, even as a rank amateur.
Amateur, yeah.
And decided, well, maybe I can make a living taking pictures of
I think you made the right decision.
It's a weird decision, and I think I was really dumb or very brave or both. But so I turned to a business. It took a while to build it up, but I've been at it now for about 33 years.
Wow, fantastic! And you've done some great pictures for me and so many other people. I see you've got a piece out here. Can you maybe show us, without giving away any trade secrets, what you do here a little bit?
There's no trade secrets.
Okay, just check it.
I share it all.
All right.
Anyway, as you can see, most of my shooting is done on glass. The specimen sits on a piece of glass, and defining the form of the crystal and lighting the faces is all done with not smoke and mirrors, but with various sorts of cards with different degrees of reflectivity. And this is not the most exciting specimen, but it's unique. It's wolfenite coating a tenantite crystal from the Sumab mine.
Interesting.
It's bizarre. I've never seen one quite like that.
That's cool.
But anyway, the thing is, when I'm shooting on glass, I can vary the backgrounds quite a bit. I can get the specimen set up just the way I want it. And if I decide I don't like the background, I can just change it without having to mess around with all my lighting and my reflectors and everything.
Absolutely. Worry about the specimen now, worry about the background later.
Yeah. So anyway, I usually have an idea ahead of time what background I'm going to use. I usually try and keep it neutral. That is kind of a black background with a neutral halo on it. And this seems to work well with most minerals unless they are colorless, in which case I will use a color background. But rarely anything other than blue these days.
Okay.
I used to do a lot of color backgrounds years ago.
I remember, yeah.
And, there are times where I look back at some of that work and kind of grit my teeth.
Maybe I shouldn't have put that red background in there.
Yeah. Red with the blue azurites was maybe a little too much. So I've toned things down through the years.
Yeah, great.
But
so have you taken a shot? Oh, I see on the screen there is already a shot there. Maybe Merrick can show us the first shot on the computer screen. So that's what happens here after he takes a shot. It goes over to his computer where he does his magic.
No, so this is the initial test shot to see if the lighting is right, the background is right, the halo's where I want it. And then from here, I will maybe refine the shot a little bit, tweak my reflectors, change the brightness of the background, that sort of thing.
All right.
And in this particular case, the specimen's a little deep, so I'm going to have to do what's called focus stacking to get it all in focus and sharp.
Sure. I struggle with that myself because I don't stack any of my photos because I don't have the software to do so, so I have to try and get it all in focus in one shot. It is quite often impossible.
It's a tough one.
All right, so while you're here, you're going to be doing shots for people until when?
All the way through to the bitter end, the 12th.
All the way to the
of February.
12th.
Yep.
And do you have plans for any more shows after this one coming up?
The next one probably is going to be the Cincinnati show,
Cincinnati.
which
when's
is
that?
in May, early May.
All right. All right, well, Jeff, thank you so much for joining us. Oh, would you like to tell us real quickly before we go how much you charge for your photo work to be done?
There you go. Generally, prices are going to go up in the near future, but at the moment, 1 to 3 pieces is $80 a piece. 4 pieces up is $75. And if you want to get into a large quantity in a day rate, it's $1,400 a day, and I do maybe 20 pieces in a day.
Okay. All right. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for joining. Oh, you're caught up on your cord there.
That's
all
the
right.
story of my life.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us again. It was great having Jeff on the show, telling us about what he does and show us a little bit behind the scenes action here. So, everyone, have a great day, and we'll see you next time. This is Mineral City.